Hi everybody, and welcome to the Epic Medic channel. So today we are going to be looking at what I consider to be the basics of any bushcraft first aid kit. So this is what I would consider the bare minimum if I was going out into the woods, perhaps solo, perhaps with someone else, and I was perhaps using sharps, so axes, knives and the like. So normally I do carry a pretty extensive first aid kit with me when I'm out, especially with groups. But again, this is just the bare bones. So let's get straight into it, shall we? So first things first, you can get a really smart, snazzy, MOLLE compatible first aid bag, but for today I've simply gone with a standard Ziploc bag. The reason being, it's cheap, anyone can see what's inside, and it's waterproof. Don't have to spend more money than you have to. So next, I'm going to talk about what I've got inside. So one of the main things that would concern me if I was solo or in a group, especially doing bushcraft type activities, are sharps and serious cuts and injuries in that respect. So for that reason, I have included an Israeli pressure dressing. Now I've deliberately left out tourniquets, things like that. Simply this is the basic bare bones and you need training for this type of equipment. But a pressure dressing like this, anyone should be able to use with the most basic of knowledge. So that's why I've included this. Multi-use and perfect for stopping some serious bleeds. So Israeli pressure dressing, my number one item. Next up, pair of decent nitrile gloves. So I've chosen nitrile instead of latex, if anyone has a latex allergy. And I've included gloves in here. If someone has to treat me or I have to treat someone else, definitely reduces the risk of cross-contamination. You don't know what they might be carrying, so number one rule of first aid is to keep yourself safe as a responder. So decent pair of gloves. Okay, next item is going to be probably the most used piece of equipment in pretty much every bushcraft type first aid kit. It's going to be a pair of tick tweezers. So this is the small and large for the big horrible things and the small horrible things, and also it has some instructions in here as well. Lyme disease and other types of infections are carried by these horrible little ticks, so you want to make sure that you have the tools to remove them if necessary. So really basic, something which I think is overlooked by a lot of people, decent pair or a decent tick removal tool or tool removal system. Don't cover them in oil and things like that, just don't. The next item is going to be a reflective foil blanket. So this can be used to keep the casualty warm. Obviously if they are in some kind of trouble, they're going into shock perhaps, hypovolemic or any kind of shock like that, their body is going to start shutting down or they could be cold or injured. You want to make sure that they can keep warm. So wrapping them in a space blanket like this takes up absolutely no room whatsoever, incredibly lightweight, and it can actually save their life. So obviously it keeps them warm, and also you can use it to summon rescue as well. Obviously it being reflective, it can be seen by people with torches, searchlights and the like. So a decent space blanket. Okay, next it's going to be a decent glow stick or some form of non-battery illumination. So I always find that when I really need a torch, batteries die. That's something you don't want. So I always make sure I carry a backup form of light. In this instance it's going to be a 30-minute ultra bright white glow stick. Not only can this show you what you're doing if you happen to deal with someone who has a serious bleed, you'll be able to see what you're doing with this, and also you can use it to attract attention. Again, being first aiders or the first person on scene, you're not going to be able to treat everything, so the ability to summon help to your location is obviously vitally important. So, decent form of illumination. And that's it. One thing I will say is, if anyone in your group requires medications, make sure that they tell other members of that group, and obviously make sure that you have spares for that person, especially if it's a more serious ailment. that's pretty much it. Obviously you can add things like plasters and things like that, but this is, like I say, the most basic bare bones kit that I could think of that can be used to deal with potentially life-threatening situations. So there we go. What would you add to the most basic kit, or what do you carry in your most basic streamlined kit? Love to hear from you. Leave it down in the comments below. Thanks for watching, stay safe, get trained, and I'll see you soon.